Hi everyone. I just wanted to comment on a bunch of things. So if you can't stand long rants, this is not the video for you. I'm just checking a few things before I edit this out. Probably won't want to edit it out and Pete will see it and then just go, hey, that was pretty funny when you were checking your phone while talking to me. I wanted to talk about what are the conventions I was thinking of doing and covering this year. Looking at the list so far, I was going to do Rapier in February, but it is on Valentine's Day. And if anybody's out there that's married, okay, knows that I'd rather face death itself than miss Valentine's Day. Can you imagine me going to a gaming convention on Valentine's Day? I don't know, a bunch of single guys that never been married must have, or never had a girlfriend or anything, must have set that one up. So this year we're not going to do Rapier, but I am going to do Recon in April, which I will do a Q&A live from there. And I will be taping like I did last year, Huracan. I will be doing Huracan. I will be doing the Dice Tower Con this year. So I did get a ticket for it. I'm going to try to do a live and Q&A. I want to check with Tom because I don't like overstepping. That is his convention, and I don't really like taping a lot of things there because that is his showcase. And for me to intrude and put it on my channel, you know, you almost feel like you're being underhanded and sneaky. So I'll converse with him and find out what we're going to do with that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was last Monday, David Bowie had passed. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but it's been very hard for me because I wanted to let you know how much he meant to me. And it's because of my uncle. My uncle Bill was my hero growing up. He introduced me to every Godzilla movie. He always used to talk about Bowie. And that was his personal hero. And my uncle, I don't think I would have this channel or have all the things that I do and have all the passions I do if it wasn't for him. You know, as a kid, you see this within this time, within this frame, and a lot of kids still do it now. But when I would spend time with my uncle, he would open my eyes and make me see so much more from the beauty of this planet and how much beauty and nature there is to his model collection, and he got me to learn how to paint and want to learn how to paint. I wouldn't have done half the things I did if it wasn't for this man. And you know, he used to paint these old Apollo and the Geminis, and he was so good at it, and I would just look and I go, oh my God, I want to paint and I want to put models together. And I would try, and I can never do it half as great as he did. His painting was exceptional. He was the most talented man I ever saw. His drawing, his art, everything. And he would let me come into his room because his room was like an aquarium. He had fish and lizards and frogs, and I mean, when you walked in, Hendrix posters. You got to remember, he was a Woodstock guy. And here I was at 7, 8, 9, 10, and he was in his 20s. We weren't very far apart because he was the youngest of my mother's brothers. And the things he would show me, you know, and I would listen to Ziggy Stardust, and I wouldn't get it then. And I would always think of my uncle and Bowie as one of the same. And I would listen to these songs and I wouldn't get it. And it wasn't until later I'd get it and I realized how far ahead it was. You know, certain songs, I've gone back through the catalog and there hasn't been a day that I haven't heard a Bowie song or thought of my uncle in the last 15 years that he's been gone. He died when he was about my age right now. And it was unfortunate how he died, but he just lived his life so free and so, you know, just one of those Woodstock guys, not a care in the world, you know, walking around with his backpack, not a care. And the influence and how much Bowie meant to him and how he took and transcended that onto me, which I did and transcended it on my children, you know, the Godzilla, the modeling, the gaming, the you know, looking up into the stars and seeing so much out there and realizing how beautiful space is. 50 sci-fi movies, all the sci-fi movies we would just sit and talk about, and comic books, you know, all these things that make me who I am, I got from him, and I pass on to you, and I pass on to my children, and all the things that I am is because of this man, and it all transcends from his greatest hero. When he died, I remember always hearing, I made a CD that I would keep the certain songs that just resonate in my head that he would just sing all the time. And I always played those songs, and I could name them off the top of my head. Ashes to Ashes, Look Back in Anger, Heroes, Fame, Fashion, you know, all these great songs, Suffragette City, you know, he goes all the way back. Ziggy Stardust, Starman. And, you know, people have been quoting lines from this song so much, so I'm not going to bore you and do that because you know them out there. I mean, this was a death that affected me, and it brought back all the pain that I had of losing my uncle. And I think of my uncle every single week. Every time I pick up a paintbrush, every time I think of the stars, or I play a space game, or I look at some of my games, or I look at my collection, my model collection, everything. It resonates and it haunts me, and to have this man die, it's almost like another part of me died again. And to go through this again, it's very difficult. It's been a very tough week, but we got through it. And you know, here I am on Monday, and I'm making this vlog, or whatever the hell they call it. I don't know. I'm so doggone old. I tell you every time, I'm not great with technology, but I try. And to go through this, and I think of good things and I think of bad things, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to do my oil painting and paint some things that I had in my head, but I've been so concentrated on just the main heartthrob of this channel that I've kind of put that on the back shelf because I've been cheating the channel. And if you notice over the last couple weeks that we've been very, very methodical in doing certain things on this channel and doing the right things and giving you guys what you deserve and what you want to see, and that's the games played. This week we're going to be doing Forbidden Stars. Number one, I have to get it done for Jack Vassell Memorial Foundation auction. I've got to finish up that, so I want to concentrate on that. I'll do a live paint through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of that, or maybe there'll be one day that might extend into Friday. I know I can get it done, finish it up in 3 days. So, but you're going to see a lot of different things and different kind of primers and things like that, and how you can speed along a process of certain things. Then on Saturday, I have talked the kids in, and this game is going to be brutal. The thing is anytime you play a game where they have a certain amount of figures and they have to face each other, it is going to get ugly. And Janice is going to try to attack Victoria. Then Victoria's going to attack Justin. And then I'm going to attack this one. And then Justin's going to attack Janice. And then they're going to start arguing. It's going to be ugly. And if you want to see something hysterical, that's the game that you're going to want to see on Saturday. So I will put up the live feeds for that when those will happen. I'm trying to figure out why I can't get 1080. My camera does 1080 and it shows in 1080. I'm working on some software where I can make some adjustments and make sure that it comes through and you can 1080 it in YouTube. So I am working constantly to make this better as I go. Like I said, in February I'm going to be overhauling and spending some serious money and really trying to give you guys the best channel I humanly can. I want to thank all of you guys for everything, your support during the week, last week, watching the channel, being part of this channel. We never try to make it about us, but we do try to make it about a community. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. That's what this channel's about. That's why this channel is what it is. It's all because of you guys, because you guys are this channel. And that's the thing that I like most about it. This week, I'm trying to think what else is coming up. I just got done taping my segment for my review of Dungeon Saga. I will put an extended version of it on here after it goes up on the Dice Tower. I did that for Tom, so I want to make sure that he has it. And the next coming weeks are just going to be more and more of the same. We're going to be very consistent. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to do the best to enjoy things. I think we're going to revisit Alien vs. Predator. Shadows of Brimstone is coming up very soon for those that are very excited about that. And we'll just keep going along here. But I wanted to finish with one last Bowie thing. My uncle, now, when I finally turned 16, he always was a printer. He worked in the printing firm. And I remember as a young boy, I was working at Kmart. And I had a friend that couldn't go to the, Serious Moonlight Tour. This was 83, I want to think. I don't know. I think I was working someplace. I don't even remember. But I had wanted to take him to a concert, and a friend had 2 front row tickets. He wanted $200 for them. Now, he had gotten them, standing in line, of course, and he was going to scalp them to me for $200. So I would pay him like $30 or $40 a week until it took me a few months to pay them off. And I got him, and I didn't tell him until about a week before. And he was so excited. And I'll never forget that night taking him up there. I spent everything I had to take him. I drove him up because he didn't drive. And we went to the concert. We sat front row, and he almost had tears in his eyes over it. It moved him to that. Well, if you ever see the video for it, they open up the ceiling, and out comes these balloon stars and moons. And they all come down, and he grabs a moon, and we get in the concert ends. We leave, and we start heading home, and he thanks me, and he tells me what a wonderful time he had, and we had a great time. And then a few years later, we were getting ready to move because I had lived in Connecticut. I had moved. I was getting ready to move, and I had seen him right before I was leaving, and he gave me a big hug, and he almost had tears in his eyes. He goes, I love you, and I'm gonna miss you. And he was acting like he'd never see me again. I said, well, I'll pay for you to come down to Florida and spend a week. You always like to hang out at compounds. You can come hang out at mine. And he said, yeah, I'll do that. That was the last time I ever talked to him, and he passed away suddenly. Well, when they were clearing out his apartment, they found the one thing that he had pressed was that little half moon balloon, and he still had it, and it still had a little air in it, and it just showed me how much that meant to him, taking him, and all I went through to get that. And it was such a thing in his life, and it meant so much to him. So for me, Bowie passing has a lot of different meanings to me, and I am feeling it. I'm feeling it more about the relationship, losing just another part of my uncle, and just kind of, trying to breathe and just take things as forward, and just always remembering that not to see things in tunnel vision, but to take a look at life and all around me, and to go forward and spread messages of goodness and how beautiful life is, and to always look up at the stars. Always look up and see what life is really about, and see how beautiful the sky is. We have much to be thankful for, even though we live such hard lives, that to enjoy the moments that you have and enjoy everything. So that's it for this week. We'll talk to you soon and see you in the next videos. Have a great week, guys.